Hey, this is Al. I thought I would do a video giving some tips on how to be more aware about your own security and how to be less likely to be a victim of a surprise attack. Everything I'm going to mention, I've done for years and years. I'll give you some examples. First of all, let's talk about when you're in your car. Whenever I stop the car in traffic, I practically always leave enough room between me and the car in front of me. So if for some reason I have to get out of there quickly, I can just cut the wheel and pull out of there. I never pull right up on someone's bumper to where it would be tricky to get out of there. I always have room to where I can just cut the wheel and leave. Another thing is, like especially in a big city or whatever, and especially at night, whenever your car is stopped, it's a good practice to glance in both mirrors and kind of glance left and kind of glance right. You're not doing anything anyway. You're just sitting at a light. It's a good idea to kind of be aware of any movement that's going on. And if you see somebody get closer and closer to your car, if they're coming right up to your car and you have any doubt, the best thing you can do is to err on the side of safety and just drive off. And I don't care what color the light is. Heck with the light. Another thing is your car is very powerful and people can't stop your car with human bodies. So if all of a sudden a threat is presented to you and you're in your car and they're not in your car, the gas pedal, gun it, run over them, go through a field, whatever you have to do. But cars are very powerful. Another thing is, let's say you're in, for example, a restaurant. I absolutely do not like to sit with my back towards the majority of the people in the restaurant. It bothers me. It's always bothered me, and I don't do it. I won't do it. When I pick a booth, I sit so that the majority of the restaurant, I am facing them, and they're not behind me. Another thing is whenever you go into a restaurant or let's say any place, a restaurant, a movie theater, the mall, when you go into a place, make it a common habit to glance where are actual doors, exit doors that will get you out of there. If you make that a common practice when you enter a place, so where are some of the exits? Oh, there's one down there to the right. There's one here beside me. If you make that a common practice and then emergency happens, you're not suddenly wondering which direction to run. Your brain has already said, if something happens, there's an exit that way, and that's the way I need to go. That's another thing to practice. The thing I should have mentioned at the very beginning, which to me is the most important, is if you qualify wherever you live to be a gun owner, to carry a pistol in public, out and about, or what some people call a concealed carry permit or carry permit. If you qualify and you don't already have a pistol, you need to go take the couple hours required to fill out the form, do your fingerprints, pay the money, and apply for that gun. The best thing you can do for your own security is to possess a gun and to have it near you as much as humanly possible. That's been a practice of mine since I was 20 years old. Another thing is start thinking of, use your imagination and start to think of how so many things that are surrounding you can be considered weapon. Do it just for fun when you're bored. Go sit, when you're sitting in somewhere, look around and say, if something bad was to happen, which items in the room I'm in would make a great weapon to clobber someone, to jab them, to whack them over the head or something. But you would be surprised how many things, everywhere you go, when you really pay attention, can be considered a weapon. First of all, any place where you're sitting that has chairs that are not bolted down, those chairs can be a great weapon. That's another thing too. Another thing is a lot of times officials say, law enforcement or officials say, whenever an attacker comes, whatever you do, give them what they want, do everything they say. And I say no. I say your first priority is to look for the first opportunity that you can to attack them. Now, if it means pretending like you're doing what they say, just to buy yourself that right moment, if they suddenly turn their head another direction for a few seconds to pay attention to something or look down to do something, you look for that split second where their attention is elsewhere, and then you attack. Those are some things. Another thing is when it's nighttime and you're walking to your car, walking to your house, or anywhere, you've got to get in the habit of constantly looking around, pan left, pan right. One common place people will hide is right up against a building. When you're walking down a building, you don't hug real close to the wall and then come right around the corner and stay close to the wall. Especially when you're walking towards your car, you should make it a habit to look in both directions. And then as you approach your car, to study on all sides of your car. And most people don't have a state of mind where they're constantly being, cautious. I don't want to say paranoid or insecure, but most people don't have that state of alertness. But it's a good idea. And now with ISIS launching an all-out war and trying as best as they can to attack everywhere they can, that's only going to pick up more, because our fearless leader, over the course of the next couple of years, wants to bring in at least 100,000 of them, with a certain percentage of them will be terrorists. So those are some tips to be aware and to make your odds of being a victim a lot less likely to happen. This is Al. Thanks for watching.